September 9th, we did a story on John Stemlin, which posted that night. That night, he also posted on Facebook, and the next day, he gets a call. Then, last Thursday, I talked to Catherine Kay, who tells me that she's been waiting a little over 4 weeks for a call back. On Friday morning, she gets a call. Monday, I reached out to IDES and asked them, is this purely a coincidence? But Kay and Stemlin said they don't think that's true.
I woke up at 7:20 in the morning and had a call from unemployment promptly at 7:30 on the dot.
Kay says the IDES agent that talked to her didn't cite anything about the article, but just that it was her place in line. John Stemlin says his phone call went differently.
The woman clearly told me that she was calling back not because I was next in line. She was calling back because she saw my post in that group.
Either way, Kay doesn't think that this was unintentional.
I think the timing is just too uncanny, given the publication time of the article and then the immediate callback the following morning. It's in my mind not a coincidence at all.
Republican Representative Tim Butler says he isn't sure if these are isolated incidents.
I hope it's coincidence, especially for the people that contact our office that have been waiting for a month or two to get their phone call returned.
But he says it's not hard to believe if they aren't.
It's kind of hard to take IDS at their word right now when it's been such a failure on this.
I don't think they're coincidences, no. I think they're trying to shut up the people that are the noisiest.
John, holidays are usually filled with trying to stay warm, maybe a little holiday shopping, and usually eating some cookies. But for many struggling Illinoisans who still haven't gotten their unemployment benefits yet, their winters are going to be cold, some filing for bankruptcy and others trying to ration one container of bologna.
You know what? I done gave up on them. They're not going to give me the money. I ain't had no money from them in 6 weeks. I done scrapped up pennies and everything to even buy me bologna and a loaf of bread because I can't cook nothing.
Running out of food, getting gas turned off. The cruel reality for Effie Cannon and many Illinoisans waiting, hoping for their benefits from the Illinois Department of Employment Security.
I'm just tired. I can't keep doing this. It's going to kill me. And it's not right. Yo, I'm done.
For those in Cannon's situation, the battle with IDES seems never ending. For others, like Alvin Heisler, the battle is over and he's back to work. But without any income for months, his reality is crashing down.
Puts me in dire straits. No income for 3 months. I'm pretty much to the point of filing bankruptcy.
Heisler says the worst part? That he can't buy his 3 grandchildren presents for Christmas this year.
It breaks my heart that I can't do something for them. I've always been able to before, now I can't.
In a statement, IDES said they can't comment on specific cases, but frustrations of claimants are deeply felt by IDES, particularly during the difficult holiday season. Cannon says she had to go to the hospital this week where the doctor told her the stress is putting her at severe risk for stroke or even a heart attack. She says she really can't do this anymore.
I can't let IDES kill me like this. I don't know what's going on. I got to leave it alone. It's killing me.
Luckily, the story doesn't end there. I spoke with Heisler today around 12 o'clock and Cannon around 1. But in between, I emailed IDES, giving both the names and asking for a statement. Now, I did get a statement, but that's not the best part. Cannon called me back around 3 o'clock this afternoon and said that she got off the phone with an IDES agent and they're going to give her $1,500 in back unemployment benefits by Christmas Eve. A heck of a Christmas gift for one very lucky Illinoisan. Nearly 11 months ago, the state shut down, but unemployment went up. Hundreds of thousands of people jobless almost in an instant, and some for the very first time. But when they turned to the Department of Employment Security to get the unemployment benefits as a safety net, the state quickly realized that the net was torn. And Illinoisans were the ones falling through the cracks.
They're an absolute total mess. Somebody's got to go in there with a bulldozer.
The fact that the General Assembly is AWOL during the biggest crisis of my lifetime is shameful.
And the agency has stopped 962,000 fraudulent claims.
I can't let IDES kill me like this.
To avoid the loss of potentially tens of thousands of lives, we must enact an immediate stay-at-home order for the state of Illinois.
The move that sent hundreds of thousands of people to the unemployment lines. But IDES had also shut their doors because of COVID-19, forcing thousands of people to line up virtually in call centers and online, overwhelming a system that was unprepared and underfunded for years.
I'm just praying that something comes through for us because this is just really, to me, is devastating because I just don't know what to do.
We have 173 people working in the call center. We get 250,000 calls per day.
And with the pressure on, the department began to falter. Even one sending nearly $12,000 to a California woman who had never lived nor worked in the land of Lincoln.
Naturally, I logged into my account to see how much money I had, but when I saw that it was 12 grand, I almost had a heart attack.
In July, the state spent $22 million on a callback system, replacing the, quote, lottery-based system that they had previously, almost instantaneously. That was too overwhelmed.
How long have I been waiting? I've been waiting about 2 months for a callback.
The great system has turned out to be a failure.
Callback times skyrocketed. Claimants were distressed, and lawmakers became more and more disgruntled with the department, calling for audits and hearings on them, while also admitting fault in their role for not supporting IDES.
IDES needs to take the moment and explain it to the people of Illinois, and certainly explain it to the members of the legislature.
We have known for the last few years that the department was working with antiquated equipment. Their computers are slow. They don't talk to each other. There's a lot of issues with that.
And then, in late 2020, a huge problem emerged: fraud.
So there are increased incidents of fraud in the unemployment insurance system.
I keep getting all kinds of notifications. I got all kinds of things here.
I've never lived or worked in Illinois.
Somebody applied for unemployment under my name.
Both the governor and the department have said the fraud stems from previous data breaches like Yahoo in 2014 and Equifax in 2017.
March 1st of 2020 through January 23rd of 2021, the agency has stopped 962,000 fraudulent claims.
962,000 fraudsters is enough to fill up Soldier Field 15 times. And while IDES focused attention on those, Illinoisans continue to fall through the cracks.
I'm bitter, I'm evil right now because it's like, how long can I take?
Over the last 5 months, I've repeatedly asked the IDES director and the public information officer just how much money has been paid out to fraudulent claims. To this one question, there's only been one answer, over and over. How much money has been wrongfully paid out to fraudulent claims this year?
We are working to quantify that.
Do you know the amount of the benefits paid under those claims that you've now stopped?
We are working to quantify that number.
A budget presentation on March 10th said they're working diligently to quantify benefits paid to imposters as a result of identity theft. April 30th, IDES continues to work to quantify the dollar amount attributable to fraud and the programs from which dollars have been paid out. And even in a Freedom of Information Act request that I got back on May 18th, they said no responsive information. So I asked the governor, how long is it acceptable to not know how much taxpayer money has been paid out to criminals?
Well, remember, the complexity of it is that we have federal authorities working with us to identify the fraudulent activity. So it's not all like as obvious as you would think that it is. So we're working together with them. There's, an effort there to get that data.
But despite not being able to compile that data, they are able to track down to the dollar the amount of claim money that's been paid out and the number of fraudulent claims. They just don't know how much of this was paid to that. Republican Senator Jason Barrickman asked about this in February, and even he, a state legislator, still hasn't gotten an answer.
I don't know whether they just don't know the answer or whether they just don't want to be transparent about it.
Now, one last time, I reached out to IDES on May 20th and asked again. They said IDES is quantifying the dollar amount attributable to fraud. The department is still committed to getting the number as accurate as possible. I followed. Is there a timeline for this? They responded, no. We're working to arrive at these numbers, as are other states. Think about it this way. There have been approximately 1,720,825 million fraudulent claims. If each one of those got a one-time payment of $1, that's $1.72 million. If each got $10, that's $17.2 million. 100, $172 million. And 1,000, that would be over $1 billion paid out fraudulently. And while IDES says some claims were stopped without money being paid out, there have also been cases like Nancy Melendez, who lives in California and has never even set foot in Illinois. And she received a single unemployment payment of more than $11,000.